Hello, Sally.
Hi.
Thank you so much for attending this interview today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, so excited to hear your amazing journey. So please imagine there are many our audience. Hey.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So could you please tell us about yourself, your name, and what do you do in Los Angeles?
Yes. Hello, I'm Sally Slade. I am a technical artist currently, which means that I'm both an engineer and an artist. So what I'm doing in LA is I joined the entertainment industry. So currently that means I'm working for an avatar company, so sort of like a game studio. And I'm bringing my expertise in the avatar space to try to, make everything shine.
I see. Yes. Okay, sorry. So we met. Where did we met?
For the first time, we met at a party at AR Skatehouse.
Yes.
And before that, we were introduced through Tim Loads.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm so curious. So today, I'm visiting your office. It's the company called Genies. Yeah. When did you start work at this company?
I started at Genies February 12th, 2024. Which
this year.
pretty recent.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. How did you meet these people?
Well, I first heard of Genies in 2018 or so. They reached out to recruit, but I was very happy where I was, so I had to say no, but I love you, but no. Oh, the microphone. Anyway, that's how I heard of them. And they've been getting traction since then, doing celebrity avatars like a Justin Bieber and a Paris Hilton, for example. And then about winter last year, I decided that I wanted to work for like a larger company again after doing like a very small startup. And I thought like, this is perfect. And one of my friends from a previous job reached out and said they needed someone who does XR and that he thought it'd be a good fit. So here I am.
I see. Okay, so this company is starting before COVID already. And then you just joined from this year. How is our work environment?
Oh, it's really fun here. I'm having a great time. And it's very artsy, very fashionable. When I'm speaking to people who are not familiar with the avatar space or XR, I tell them I work in a digital fashion company because so much care goes into the clothing and the hairstyle and the attitude of the characters that it really feels that way, even throughout the office culture.
I see. So actually, last night I attended a LGBTQ VR event, kind of open talk session event. And then facilitator lady, he asked to us, have you ever met your avatar? And kind of less half, like maybe 30%, only 30% people said yes, and then left not yet. So I have never ever made my avatar, but as you mentioned, like what can I say, changing fashion, like maybe Barbie doll. Oh, I want to try.
Yes, yeah, I wish I could have been there last night. I was busy shipping, but there was, I would wonder about that statistic, like 30% of the people raising their hand. Did the other 70% never use Snapchat or have a Bitmoji, never set up their Memoji on iPhone? Like, where do they draw the line on what an avatar feels like to them? Because I think they're actually very deeply ingrained in our culture already.
I see. Interesting. So if possible, could you please tell us about the difference in difference between Genie's product and others? Do you have some idea?
Yeah, I think our product have a very particular style, whereas other products tend to try to appeal to a much wider base or a more corporate base, or something that can go into a professional product that's aimed at adult, corporate user, or something meant to appeal to a wide audience, whereas ours are very stylistic. They remind me of Bratz dolls, which was a very disruptive doll in the 90s that came to push Barbie out of the way. And they were very sassy with wonderful makeup. And they really captured the current generation, whereas Barbie was a little bit behind. And I feel like our avatars are doing the same thing right now by coming out with these very current looks, very exaggerated, stylized facial features and body structures in a world that is still kind of focused on hyperrealism. So I think that sets us apart.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, and then I was surprised. So we were the, what can I say, one of the events after the skater house, you showed me, in real time, your avatar is speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes, that's like a whole subculture right now, which I wonder if it will become a larger, more dominant space. But the real-time animation of avatars to create a vlog or a diary or a meme or a screen cap, the technology is available.
Yeah, so I think like me, usual people, we little bit new on this surface, but we don't know many use case. So as you mentioned, maybe we could make a, what can I say, blog or maybe short movie, or not only for professional musicians. I'm curious, how can I create something, utilize my avatar or friend's avatar?
Yes, there's an interesting use case that was in popular culture maybe 10 years ago. It was an ad for a travel company called, I think it was Travelocity, and they had a little gnome, and they would photograph this toy in various locations as though the gnome were traveling, or it was kind of like a totem for the user. And people started picking up on this, and they would photograph objects that were special to them in special places to commemorate those places in a way where they might not have thought to take a selfie, or might have thought a simple landscape was not personalized enough. So I wonder if the massive amount of people that seized onto that trend will soon be interested in an avatar trend.
I see, interesting. And then, so 3 days ago, I watched Game of Thrones. Of course, this is kind of the most popular TV show in the US, right? And then I realized, always fighting or argument, they don't have a food scene. Have you ever watched Japanese Netflix? There are tons of food show. Kind of crazy. Or kind of just a drama.
Yeah.
TV show about chef with local people, and local people have some pain point in their life, and then coming to this chef's place, it's midnight restaurant. So, it's a more popular show. And then the small restaurant, just to eat food, and the conversation with chef. But chef is not super talkative. But thanks to food experience, they can somehow solve their pain point. Yeah, it's too easy. But I wonder if we can use, combine avatar and food experience somehow.
I would love to see that.
So that maybe we could collaborate with some food TV show or something popular show which has food scene. So if I am a script writer or movie director of Star Wars or Game of Thrones, I want to add food scene and then make real restaurant or avatar restaurant or something, and then making other business. This is my dream.
I want to participate.
Right. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. And healing and whimsical.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, next question. So, what kind of child were you?
What kind of child were I? Oh
always
man.
drawing or super like energetic or Sally?
I would say I was, I read a lot and I drew a lot. Very tactile drawing, like Copic marker and pen and ink. And then I would read these epic fantasies like Wheel of Time and Sword of Truth and these fat fantasy books. And I would watch anime as well.
Do you remember what anime did you like?
Of course. I loved Fushigi Yugi. Do you know it?
Yes, I had all the comic in my yes. Oh.
Me too. And Revolutionary Girl Utena, Shoujo Kakume, and Sailor Moon, of course.
Of course, it's amazing.
Yeah, these kind of shoujo I think were my favorite.
I see. And then thanks to reading book, comics, drawing, and animation, you got many inspiration to become a artist creator.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And then, so did you go to some art school or something?
No. My parents were concerned that if I became an artist, I would not be able to support myself financially. So they really encouraged me to pursue an adjacent field that had better job opportunity or job security, which I'm glad they did because freelance is extremely stressful. I don't think I'm built for it. And it's incredibly hard to build an art platform. And I really respect and admire artists for this that are full-time. But to that end, I got a computer science degree. And
Really? You did learn the coding?
yes, I went to Vassar College, which is in upstate New York.
Upstate New York?
Yeah. The last stop on the Metro North. Yeah, it was a beautiful campus, and it was a liberal arts school. So I got some kind of art, education, but was mostly focused on computer science because I knew that would enable me to then go into the entertainment industry as a support person for the full-time art people.
How did you like it to learn computer science at the time?
I loved it. It was very challenging. Shout out to all my colleagues and professors who helped me get through it. But it was really satisfying to learn how to, speak to the computer and to build applications that would display graphics and understand how that all comes together was a brilliant exercise, and I really enjoyed it.
I see. And then, so after graduate college, what did you do?
Oh, well, when I was a junior in college, we had a summer we were encouraged to take an internship. So I came here, actually lived a block from here.
Really?
Yeah, and I would bicycle to a visual effects studio. I had applied to over 30 locations as an unpaid intern because that was legal at the time. And I said, please take me for the summer. I'll do literally any job. I just want to get my foot in the door. And an actually really good studio replied. Everyone else said no, by the way, but this one said yes. And it was called Digital Domain. They were doing visual effects for Transformers at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Speed Racer.
Big name.
Yeah, it was so exciting to be around all that as a student. And then when I graduated and came back out, I just kept approaching them and say, do you remember I was the best intern? Wouldn't you want me to be in literally any role? And I was eventually picked up for a very short role that was supposed to be a 2-week job that turned into 3 years. So,
amazing.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So that's how I got sort of started in entertainment.
Okay, and then in the 3 years, you did coding or many hats?
Yes, exclusively coding, well, almost exclusively coding to support animators, lighters, compositors, anyone who was struggling with the software because it's difficult for each discipline to talk to one another software-wise.
Yeah.
Like animation software talking to compositing software, they're not built to do that. So they need lots of custom pieces that would help them integrate, and that's what I was doing.
I see. And then after 3 years, if I remember correctly, did you move to Canada?
Close.
Close.
I moved to another studio, a smaller studio, because I wanted to try to have more responsibility, larger impact. And that studio then opened a Canadian office. And after a couple of years, I thought, man, they're having so much fun up there. I want to go have fun up there too.
How was Canada life?
It was incredible. It was very walkable. I've never lived in a walkable city before. So it was fun to take the metro and walk everywhere and bike, and it's very safe, and there were so many fun bars and galleries and parties and things. So it was almost like college 2.0.
It was Vancouver.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Yeah, interesting. And then you met your partner.
Yes, that's where I met my husband.
Yeah, you guys are amazing, both creative.
Thank you.
Do you remember the first impression of your husband?
Oh yeah, I ignored him because he was so beautiful.
Really?
I thought there's no way.
Oh,
So I just
beautiful
ignored.
man.
Yeah. But then I would slowly have lunch with him. Like I'd see him bring his like salad to the kitchen, and I'd like find a reason to go sit there also. Yeah, it was very cute.
So he was kind of senpai in Japanese way.
Yeah.
The senpai means the person who work as a workplace like earlier than us.
Yeah.
Not the boss. Kind of a colleague, but kind of like yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he was in the character rigging department and I was in the pipeline department. So it was like not quite same as senpai, but like close enough.
I see. Cool. And then, why did you decide to come back to LA?
Well, I don't know if this is common in Japan also, but we have the seasonal affective disorder, which is when you see gray skies year round, you get really sad.
Yeah, like London or some north country, they have like no sunny days.
Yeah, and I had never really experienced that. I guess I was just too busy in college to notice. But yeah, I had plenty of free time in Vancouver and I just kind of really longed for the blue sky and it was really impacting my outlook. So I had to come back and it was so good. I'm so glad to be back.
At that time, you guys cannot work from LA?
We could,
really?
but the LA office was much quieter and slower than the Vancouver office. So it was a much different lifestyle.
And then you changed to other company or be a freelance?
Yes, I joined a VR type company at that time. And that's when I really got into like the games industry as opposed to film.
I see. Okay, kind of a life change.
Yeah.
So less coding, more other skill.
Yes. Yeah, I had to learn a completely new software, the game engine Unity, which wasn't really used in our pipeline at all at the time. So yeah, they took me on at a junior level. I said it was very similar to getting my internship. I said, please let me have even a junior role and I will learn how to do it. And within 6 months, I'll be like super strong.
Amazing. How did you learn and super fast?
The way I always recommend to do this is by doing a project yourself. So I made a couple of games myself that I was passionate to see turned into reality. So after making a couple of my own experiences, I picked up so many skills I would have needed to make experiences for the company.
Amazing. So like you, of course, you have to go to office and you do work, and then after you come back to home, you did your own project.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah, you are right. As a creator, like social party also important, but sometimes we have to stop to see our phone, just creation, focus, what practice. This is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I see. And then, so speaking of Unity, you went to Japan to like kind of give your open talk session or something.
Oh, sort of. I've gone places to give talks before. Like I've flown to Malta to give a talk. But when I went to Japan recently, it was to celebrate my friend's artwork. And I've been working with her and her team to create software to help make her characters come alive on screen, so that her users the fans of her work can embody the characters they love, as we were talking about before. So I flew out there to celebrate with them a milestone.
Amazing. And then you said you used to be a freelance, but you didn't like it.
Yes.
Oh, why? Didn't ask about it.
I've been freelance twice. Once when I was just out of school for web design, and then once very recently between jobs. I thought I'll try this again, but I just am not built for it. The need to secure clients, to interface directly with your client, even if they can be tough on you, like they may not like what you want, whereas you think you've given them a very reasonable, very high quality product, and they'll say no, make it worse. So that was very stressful to me, and I'd much rather be part of a large team.
I see. Interesting. But I also kind of a similar experience. So I was living in New York, but before moving to New York, I did freelance in Tokyo. I'm not good I hate to negotiate.
Yeah, same.
Right? Yeah. But now, I am surrounded by like freelance people or who are good at to negotiate. So I could learn, I could get these like feedbacks. So I wanna try, but yeah, it's tough. As a creator, we have to know and learn about business strategy, how to communicate with clients. But we want to focus to creation sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole skill set.
Yeah.
And I wish I could be around people that could teach me. You're in a lucky spot. That's really cool to learn so much.
See. By the way, have you ever have you ever thought about to make startups with your husband? No?
I don't know how that would go. We've talked about it during the pandemic when everyone had a lot of time.
Yes.
We thought, we could do freelance on the side because our skill sets are very complementary. But we decided maybe better to just focus on full-time job and then relax and keep everything balanced.
Yeah, you are right. I see. Okay, next question. So, Sally, you can speak actually several Japanese. So, tell us about something connection with Japanese culture or Japanese companies, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, I studied Japanese a while ago, so I speak a little.
It's great. Yeah.
But I loved working with my Tokyo friends together. I don't know if it's representative of what it would be like to work full-time for a Japanese company, but working with them was there was so much creativity and passion around the product, and it really felt like like being with a visionary director, where I've never really gotten to experience that firsthand before. And I don't know if that's typical, but the amount of creativity and care that went into the product was not something I had really seen before. The vision is often diluted or democratized, and it can be just as great, but it's not the same as working with one person who has this very specific goal in mind.
I see. Okay, so how did you meet these Japanese friends?
Through the internet.
Oh, really?
Yes. They had released a project called the Shinsei Galverse, and I had heard of it and thought like, oh, that's so cool. I wish I could ever be that cool. So I had just bought one of the artworks as a fan, and I did what I always do lately to express myself as an artist, which is...
Is this NFT project?
Yes, yeah.
I see.
It is, and I took the artwork and rigged it for real-time animation so that I could become that character and speak as that character on Twitter or social media. And they saw it and they said, like, this is so cool. Do you think you could do this for all of our characters?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I felt so seen and I felt so appreciated as a fan and as a creator that, like, although I could never create something with such a vision, I can like support someone else's vision, which brings me the most joy. So that is what I got to do.
If I remember correctly, Shinsei Galba's NFT project is like a kind of director person is Erik-san.
Yes, she was one of the original co-founders with Ayaka Ohira, and now Ayaka is doing it full-time to bring the anime to screen.
Amazing.
Yes.
I see. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, next question. Tell us about your just passion besides your work. Of course, your work is kind of your passion, but do you have something, hobby or something?
Yeah. So I've always loved characters and world building, you know, to watch shows like Sailor Moon or Shigeyugi, to imagine yourself in those worlds and like who you might meet and like create these whole personas and things. So lately I've been working on a story world, which I'm super excited about.
Story world?
Yeah, which is what I'm calling like original characters and settings that kind of have a narrative attached, or like a larger vision attached to them. And I've been working on one that is, I call it the Paranormal Maid Cafe.
Paranormal Maid Cafe?
Yes.
What is it?
So I used to live near a maid cafe in Culver City, actually, in LA.
Yeah.
And I would go there all the time. And I just loved the atmosphere, and it was very artsy. There was an art gallery inside as well, and it made me really love those spaces. And so I thought I will make a virtual one with these. I combined also my interest in the paranormal, so like ghosts.
Do you have some like a website or?
Yes, yeah. My hub for them all is currently paranormalmaids.ooh, which is just 3 O's.
Okay.
If you were to go there, you'd see links to Webtoon, to Twitter, to TikTok. And I use that same technology of real-time animation to animate these characters and have them do things like read tarot, tell you about astrology, craft the perfect cocktail, tell you how to roast a coffee. So I've been having a great time creating that world, and I'm opening it up to a couple of friends to collaborate with, and that's been really, really fun. And I see that is where my free time goes.
Amazing. Do you have some like YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I want to see.
It's I can show you. It's the Paranormal Maids is the handle on every platform.
Okay, amazing. You are making your kind of brand.
Yeah, yeah. I'm making the cafe I wish to work in.
I love that. Interesting. Have you ever made a kind of pop-up cafe? Like utilize this paranormal maid cafe atmosphere or fashion or everything you can do it.
I'd love to, but as you were saying earlier, like the business skill set is so important, and that would play a huge role. So I would need like partners that would want to do something like that with me.
Maybe someone who is watching our conversation, maybe they can help us.
Let's make a pop-up.
Yeah, let's do it in Tokyo, LA, and New York.
Brilliant.
Yes. Amazing. Okay, so last question. Could you please tell us your dream in 5 years and 10 years, whatever?
Yes. I think lately my dream is to contribute to the creation of like a beloved IP. Like I feel like Hello Kitty is a beloved IP. Barbie is a beloved IP. And I would love to work together with a visionary who's early on their journey to take some story world or set of characters and catapult them into like worldwide love, I think would be amazing. So I look forward to being on that journey together with other creators, I hope.
Amazing. How do you meet other creators in general?
Lately through the internet, collaborating with creators by just kind of admiring them, and then they'll say, hey, I actually really like the thing you've created for no reason. Perhaps you'll create something specifically with me together. So
I love that. Okay, so I can put your, what can I say? Okay, so maybe many people want to reach out to you. So which social media or email or something, medium is best for them to
Yes.
reach out to you?
I'm on Instagram as sallydanger.biz, and I'm on Twitter as sallydanger. Those are great places to reach out, or LinkedIn, or email is my name, Sally Slade @gmail. So feel free.
Yes, please collaborate with amazing talent lady.
Thank you so
Yes.
much for facilitating that.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, I can't wait to listen to next interview soon. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.